All right. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock and we call this September 3rd, 2024 Board of County Commissioner regular meeting to order. Please join me for pledge.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, we'll start with the agenda approval.
Commissioners, I have no changes to agenda as presented.
I'm looking to approve the agenda. Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
Jim Rodriguez,
Yes,
motion passes.
thank you. Moving on to consent agenda.
Commissioners, on the agenda for today, I have the August 13th meeting minutes and the August 20th meeting minutes.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda. I will second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller,
Yes.
Jim Rodriguez,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, moving on to appointments. We're moving on to appointments, so we have,
Public comment?
I don't think we have anyone. Let me check.
Any public comment online?
No public comment, so we'll move to appointments. So we have Majors Ranch Firewise. You can sit either at the table or go to the podium. Both have microphones. You'll just need to say your name and your address.
Okay, I didn't want to need you to just to
Thank you.
do a line of each of the dots. Copy.
Yes.
You. My name is Paul Sweet and Bruce Victor, we're Firewise coordinators for Majors Ranch area. And we've come up with an idea to try and bring in a new insurance for homeowners. Of course, you know that insurance is being canceled and skyrocketing and everything. So we've come up with an idea that if we can eliminate the fire portion of a policy premium from the insurance carriers, which is actually about 50% of the policy. If we can eliminate that from the insurance carriers' policy, that gives them the ability to still sell insurance here, keep them in Colorado, and greatly lower that premium for just hail and wind and theft and that kind of thing. And then actually, with that savings to the homeowner, we'd like to try to, I guess we got to get the idea moving across all the counties, but that's what we're here asking you for your support, just to help move the idea along. So the idea would be that with the savings from that premium, the homeowner could actually buy insurance from the fire department. The fire department would become the insurance company. This would be very, very beneficial to the fire department and to the public. The fire department has the ability, right now the insurance companies, if they want to assess a property, calls the fire department anyway and says, go out and look at this property. And there's not a whole lot that they say. They don't say, oh, tell the homeowner to do this, this, and this, and we'll give them a better premium. It's just, no, here's your premium. And right now, Huerfano County is like in the worst case scenario. We are number 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst for fire, what do you call it?
Risk.
The fire risk, the ISO rating. So realistically, we're not ever going to get a decent premium. You know, we're just way up here all the time. But if we can bring that idea to the local level and say have 4 or 5 or 6 counties grouped together, they can assess the risk in that area, minimize the premium, and then also they'll be going out inspecting properties and telling the homeowner what they need to do in order to further reduce their premium. The example that we got there is just real basic. It's a $500 premium, which, to be honest with you, I'm sure would probably be more realistically about $1,000 per home average. With that premium, I know just Huerfano County is about 5,000 homes, and at $1,000, now we're looking at a nice chunk of money coming in. They would have to distribute that money both to a pool for the reserves for paying out claims when and if that should occur, but also that would be the revenue coming into the department that they could operate off of. Hire firefighters, buy new equipment, set up cisterns around the county so that their response will be faster. It's just, I mean, the way we've been looking at it, it's just a win-win-win. The homeowner gets a savings on their premium. Insurance companies can stay here, stay profitable, keep selling policies for loss in other areas. And the fire department now has a steady revenue coming in. So, did that make sense to you? So that's the brief idea, and that's what we're at. So we're here just asking for your support. If you have a way to sign a letter of your support, that we can move on and talk to some other counties, get some other counties on board. We talked to you along with Ty, and we did send a letter off to Ty, and Ty is interested in it. And so if we can just garner some more support, Ty said he's willing to run with it. So that's
Subject to his legal, he's the same.
what's that?
He's willing to run with it, subject to.
Yeah, so I mean, the state offers the legal services to the reps and stuff, and so they would run that through the legal department, see how legitimate it is and legal. But it is starting to happen. I mean, insurance companies are going to probably be our biggest pushback, even though that this would help them. It's nipping at their heels of things to come, because I know of some hospital systems that are already not taking insurance and selling their own insurance. So it's going to start breaking that system down, and unless they start agreeing to some of this, they're really going to have some problems as well. So I see them as the biggest issue, but also probably a big supporter when they realize that they can keep selling insurance and not get buckled down under more government mandates and that kind of thing. So, and then additionally, just being that hopefully we're getting this ball rolling here, ideally I'd like to make Huerfano County, kind of the home base of this, and they can manage the system and bring in, more employees to manage the system and that kind of thing. So hopefully help the economy here.
And you're seeing it as a Southern Colorado or Southeast Colorado regional?
Yes, that's what we'd like to start with. Ideally, if this went statewide, it would, if we got the state backing behind it, that would be the ideal thing, because the state will probably need the state to support that reserve fund initially, just for a catastrophic fire and you lose 100 homes or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't foresee ever having the catastrophe because we don't really have the huge urban areas that like Superior did and Boulder. I mean, we've lost 100 structures in the Spring Creek fire, but that was barns and outbuildings and of course homes in there and stuff like that. But if this went statewide, and then instead of just the reserve money being in the regional area, the entire state pools that reserve. So it'd be a much larger reserve built faster and potentially get to the point where that money is actually just investing in itself, and then more money can stay with the departments from the premiums. So, insurance companies don't do that. They don't really, they have some reserve, but they're reinsured. And then when the catastrophe happens and they got to go to the reinsurer, that's when the problems start. The reinsurers don't want to insure them again, and then they start pulling out. So.
I love the idea. I like thinking out. I love the idea of thinking outside the box. Because there's got to be some changes in some of these things. So.
I've never volunteered. I just moved here and volunteered to do this Firewise thing, and I guess I was just too stupid to know that this is not a good idea.
Well, I think it's a great idea.
The only other thing I might add is that initially, at the very beginning, even the 5 counties came together as cooperative, and somebody was hired to manage the money and stuff coming in. It's still not going to be much of a reserve until some time goes by and annual payments come in, or other counties add to it, or the whole state adds to the pool. So it's possible, or maybe even probable, that we would have to find somebody to reinsure us being the pool of money coming in. And I don't know who that would be, but my first thought is the state of Colorado.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that would go over. I know that there are numerous restrictions or whatever placed on insurance companies now by the state as a law, like people who can't afford insurance can get it, and the state's paying for it evidently. But there is that issue that in the very beginning, we need some kind of backup.
Yeah. We have talked to a few other people besides Ty. One is a gal that's heading up the insurance litigation for Superior and Louisville and all those cities up there, because the insurance companies are dragging their feet so much trying to get these payouts done. Jared Polis is looking at this going, I got to do something. If the insurance companies start pulling out, so if this is an idea that crosses his desk and he's like, okay, all we got to do is back it. Yeah, I think he'd be on board real quick. But and now with the newest legislation of the tax cuts on property taxes, that tax cut obviously affects everything down the line. So all the special districts are going to have to work with less money. So the timing of this would be great. Obviously, these things take years, but it'd be nice if we could somehow push forward faster. But, even if we set up 5-county demo area or something, if the state could just support this as a small demo to make sure that it works, that might be something we can do. But I guess right now, if we can get a letter of support from you, and potentially, I know Robert's working on his master's degree in small community economics and that kind of thing. If we could maybe get the permission to utilize him a bit or something, where he knows a little bit more about, well, he knows a lot more about what I don't. So,
I like the idea.
what's that?
I like the idea.
Yeah.
You have to say you haven't heard from Ty's legal team yet.
The response was just that we need to garner a little bit more support so that he knows that he can run with it.
In best case, maybe the commission here could have some contact with neighboring county commissioners so that we can make contact with them like we're here with you now, because we don't know who they are.
We're actually meeting with all of them tomorrow.
Really?
We're meeting with all of them tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be sure to talk to them about it.
Okay, yeah, if you could, I mean, that's obviously just a real basic outline. There's a lot more details that would have to happen. And when and if it finally did come to fruition, it probably won't look like that. My goal would be to try and headquarter something here where we can bring in some more economy here. But
Wonderful.
I think that's about it. And
So at this time, you're just wanting a general stamp of approval via a letter just saying that we believe as a board this is a good idea?
yes, and I think, I mean, people caution us, don't tell too many people too many details yet, you know, but, you know, we got to talk to people, and obviously, if you are meeting the other boards tomorrow, that would be awesome to get this out in front of them and get a feel for what they all think. So, can I ask what counties those all are?
It's the CCI Southern District meeting, so it's all of Southern Colorado, all the way from the valley, the western end of the valley, all the way over to the Kansas border.
Oh, really?
It's Friday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not tomorrow. You know, like,
Well, I'll be there tomorrow. It's on my calendar tomorrow.
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think
Yeah,
I have another appointment. I can't do that.
and then, you know, if it's going all the way out to the Kansas border, I mean, that would kind of show up as two regions. So like
Yeah, Friday.
the plains with the fire risk on the plains is way lower than here because it's just all grass out there. And that would be one idea, is that all those eastern counties would be able to group together. They can probably give a lot better premium to the homeowners out there. But so it'd be probably looking at two regions or something of just the southern counties.
Sharing the same pool.
Yeah,
Right.
you're gonna send cool.
Well, I think I'd definitely be interested in signing, but I need to find out a little bit more first and read this and before I say absolutely, you know, we give you but I'll definitely do like the idea.
Okay.
I think, unless you guys have something different,
There's
I would think
one,
we need to look into it just a little bit.
there's one thing that might be worth checking in on too. There's this Colorado Bear Plan Association.
Right.
I think they're supposed to start coverage next year at some point in time, but it sounds like you have to be rejected so many times before they'll cover a property. I don't
Right.
know how that's supposed to really work.
And it's very basic. I mean, it doesn't cover a whole lot. But it's something that's out there for people that can't get insurance or.
Is it only by can't get it or is it by cost? Because,
It's can't get it.
okay, yeah, because a lot of you guys could get insurance, you just have to pay through the nose.
Yeah, I mean, one of our meetings, had the Teller County, emergency manager on it, and he said one of his residents, their premium last year went from like 3,000 to 6,000, and this year it's gone from 6,000 to 17,000.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's insane.
Who can afford that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're doing the same on, we have some property with, and it tripled.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, can't afford to.
Yeah, so I mean, those numbers on that example are again, very basic. I just went with the low number on it. So I mean, if, you know, with these rates going up to $6,000, I mean, even if every homeowner was paying 1,000 or 1,500 into it annually, you know, those numbers just get better and better for the fire department, but it's still saving a lot to the homeowner. So.
Absolutely.
All right, well, if we could have a little bit of time to look it over and see if we hear back from Ty's Legal.
Okay,
Get a little extra.
I did not put my number on there. I don't know if I can give you a number.
You gave me two if you want one of these back.
I think I have your phone number. I don't have yours.
So if you do have any questions, what we thought about, obviously we aren't the government, so tell you any details yet. But thank you for your time. I hope you really consider it.
I'm sorry, I can't read your name.
Carl Sporleader. Yeah.
Okay, Carl, okay.
You guys want a card?
So my understanding is that you guys actually want to make contact with Ty and see where that's at.
Yeah, Alan might can call him as well. Yeah.
And I don't know where it's at. It's been submitted to him more than a month ago. He said it might take 3 weeks to hear back from his legal department. We haven't heard yet, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we really appreciate your time. It's a great thought and concept, and hopefully we can get it off the ground.
All right.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move on to land use.
One thing on the agenda for land use is book water permit application for Jose Marita and John Anick. Okay.
Very good.
They are in Gardner, and they have requested because they have, sorry, a well that is drying up. They need staff to look at the property. There is 2 structures, a residence and a barn, an ag barn, and no code violations on the property.
Staff recommendation.
We see no reason to deny this application. I will say at some point in time, we need to establish some criteria about what applications get approved and what don't. I'm worried that local water is oversubscribed, but I've got nothing to go off of.
Yeah, and I was actually going to ask if we do some front end on that to see if their well is, if they've taken some certain things like we've done on in Gardner for getting a cistern, and even if it's a low producing home type of a deal and fill it up that way, and if they've taken steps as well, because water is a very valuable resource that way.
I think we should definitely get with a consultant, but we have plenty of aggregation water. We just need to see about getting more wells drilled or storage or what that looks like.
I don't know that we have plenty of aggregation water.
For?
Oh, well, once it's converted, sure.
Yeah, that's still working.
But right now, I don't. This is always been something that I've asked questions about, but never really gotten a great answer on. So I'm going to talk to GMS about it, so we can try to get to some sort of better process for this.
Yep.
I've been asked that question after this last weekend.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion for the bulk water permit.
We'll make a motion for bulk water permit 24-0007.
I second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
Chair Mojo,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right.
Let's work on that process.
Yep. Moving on to action items.
All right, Commissioners, first I have for you purchase order number 289, Colorado Plumbing, in the total amount of $12,915. This is related to the boiler replacement compliance and correction of the kitchen issue boiler issue. The boiler that provides them hot water.
Make a motion to pay purchase order 289 to Colorado Rhino Pro.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Chairman Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, I have to purchase order number 290 for Urban Atelier LLC. This is for the Strong Communities Grant. As you'll remember, we applied for and received the Strong Communities Grant. One of the portions of the scope of work included updating our land use code. So based on the information that Sky has from working here before and from working with the planning commission over the last couple of months, we have sort of a sketch of the changes that we need to make, or we might want to make. So this is an estimate. This is not to exceed amount, and we'll work on refining this and starting to work on small bits and pieces as we have them. And there'll be some larger chunks once we adopt the comprehensive plan.
Make a motion for purchase order 290 for the urban
That
word LLC not to exceed 32,000.
second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Chairman Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, I have for you purchase order number 292 for municipal police consultants in the amount of $9,000. This is another not to exceed amount. The actual quote is for 8,000, but I put like 1,000 in there as some buffer for incidentals. But this is for maintenance study for the sheriff's office. There will be a second contractor with a second PO to work on the same study. But they are still working on getting together an estimate.
Okay, make a motion to pay purchase order 292 to municipal police consultants.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Chairman Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, I have purchase order number 293 for J storage containers. This is for a 20-foot container for the Gardner Community Center. Total amount is $4,429. We paid out of the CTF money.
I'll make a motion for purchase order number 293 for G storage containers for shipping container totaling 4,429.
Second that.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Chairman Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes. Commissioners, next I have for you purchase order number 294 for these two lane surveying in the total amount of $8,000. This is for the vacation and rededication of City Ave in Pichara. As you might remember, a year or so ago, we had an application come to us for vacating the unbuilt portion of City Avenue. So this would actually complete that work as well as help with some other cleanup in that area that needs to be done with our right of way.
Sorry, I was reading the letter. I was thinking it was a different number. Make a motion to pay purchase order 294 for VH2 land survey for the road easement.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Chairman Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes. Commissioner, next I have for you your August 28th agenda item for your approval.
Make a motion to approve August 28th. And bid round.
Second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Chairman Joe.
Yes.
Motion passes. The next I have for you a request that the BOCC approve expenses of $1,695 for Ross Hallahan to attend the
Think on it.
Fire Adapted Colorado Wildland Fire Conference if they even does not receive a scholarship from them. Acronyms.
It'll be page 51 with the recommendations on the memorandum.
It's right in very slippery. We pay for the Wildland Fire Conference for Russ Callahan if he doesn't get the get it paid for.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier.
Yes.
Chairman Joe.
Yes.
Motion passes. Commissioners, next we have a request to update the county credit card policy. The specific update would increase the amount for the Department of Human Services to 5,000 from 4,000. They have a number of trainings coming up that's pushing their limit of their credit card.
I'll make a motion update Huerfano County credit card policy for DHS from 4,000 to 5,000.
Second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
Chairman Joe.
Yes.
Motion passes. Commissioners, I have for you a letter of support for Crossroads Turning Points Incorporated. This is for an application they're submitting to the Southeast Colorado Region 19 Opioid Settlement Board.
Make a motion and accept to write a letter of support for Crossroads Turning Point.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
Chairman Joe.
Yes.
Motion passes. And last but not least, I have a letter of support for the Museum of Friends. They're applying for the Laura James Mustard Fund for a grant in their building.
Make a motion to write it under support from the friends for their grant application.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
Chairman Joe.
Yes.
Motion passes. And then there's the end of action items.
Next, we have correspondence.
All right, Commissioners, first half of your CAT monthly reports for July 2024. Then the annual meeting flyer was sent by electric. The Spanish Library District has submitted their bylaws, and this is a copy of those new bylaws. The July 2024 Treasurer's Fund Ledger. July 2024 expenditure report. This is still unbalanced. July 2024 revenue report. The lead balances as of August 2024. A CTSI took an update on the risk of candles in office buildings. A CTSI took an update on emergency medical services. And last but not least, a CTSI took an update on workers' compensation legislation.
Thank you. Any questions on correspondence? Moving on to staff reports.
Commissioner, I don't have a formal staff report for you, but I do want to update you on the situation in Gardner. So we were able to resolve the primary issue, which we discovered was a leak in a part of the system that was unmet. We've managed to plug that, and the county staff will work this week to still in that hole right next to, right near the community center on 69. There's still a boil water advisory. Staff expects that, I just checked in with them a little while ago, they do expect that the earliest that the boil water order could be lifted will actually be tomorrow. They're working on getting samples today, get them over to the lab, and as soon as those samples come back good, then we should be able to lift that boil water advisory. But that'll happen until tomorrow at the earliest.
Thank you. Do you, Kim, want to give an update on BMO?
I was contacted. I did have communication with BMO last week, and we are finally reimbursed all of the funds that were compromised. BMO staff did an amazing job of getting that extra 4,000 back to us, so.
Wonderful. So it's a total of how much?
It was a total of, I think it was 15, close to $16,000.
It was all refunded.
All refunded.
Wonderful. Thank you for all your hard work on that. Thank you. Any other updates? Okay. Last item on the agenda would be an executive session for the purpose of determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategies or negotiations, and or instructing negotiators under CRS 24-64024E regarding the foreign land water rights negotiations with the Huerfano County Water Conservancy District. I would entertain a motion to go into executive session where no decisions will be made during or after executive session.
I make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Woodall,
Yes.
Commissioner Spooner,
Yes.
Chairman Jones,
Yes.
motion passes.
Wonderful. We will go into executive.
In
Thank you.
Thursday. Hey, Ray.
I know, right?
It is Jim.
Yeah.